Grace and peace. This is Pastor Pimpong. I am standing right at the junction of what's this street? Of IPS Road and the Eburi Accra Road, or JJ. Wow. This is JJ Rawlings Avenue. I never knew that they have named a street of the JJ Rawlings. Wow. I hope my eyes are looking at things well. Yep. This is the corner of IPS and JJ Rawlings Avenue. And on the corner you see the University of Ghana Business School. This is the University of Ghana Business School that you see over there. The business school is an extension of the University of Ghana Business School, an extension of it here. So you see that IPS is up there, and then you see the cars. I never knew. I've been calling this road the Eburi Accra Highway, which of course is understandable because this is the highway that leads to Eburi. It leads to Eburi. This highway leads to Eburi, Accra, and beyond the highway. So you see it's always flooded with cars coming from Eburi. This is what you see, the ones coming from Eburi and the ones coming from Accra on the other end. And they all, the other ones coming from the other side. And you see them, driving in an orderly manner, going to their various destinations. And as I've always said, Ghana is very beautiful. We only need to redouble our efforts to make it more beautiful. There is a standard that we are yet to achieve as a country. We have to make sure that the environment is very sanitary. The sanitation here is quite very, it needs much to be desired. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to make Ghana what it ought to be. The country itself is beautiful, it's been endowed with a lot of natural resources, so rich in natural resources that if well managed and used for the purpose for which God has endowed the country with, Ghana will be the #1 country, more beautiful perhaps on the level of the Singapores and all the other countries and Switzerland and the rest. That is, if the resources of this nation are well managed. It's sad to see a country so rich in gold, rich in oil, rich in diamond. And when you come here, you find places like Agbogboshi, and the Kole Lagoon, and also looking at the areas litter all around the place, and you ask yourself, what are they using the money to do? In the meantime, those who claim to be rich or are in leadership position are always in either their three-piece suits or dressed in their very expensive native regalias. Some with, surrounded by bodyguards, to the neglect of the average person down the street. You see some people who are mad. They are not mad because someone bewitched them. No, some of them have become mad because they have found themselves in a state where they cannot help but to just walk down the streets because financially they are unable. Some perhaps work so hard and yet their money cannot meet. So it gets into their head, and before long they are walking the streets, some stripped naked and out of their senses, out of their mind. In the meantime, there are those who are living in affluence, in opulence. They have money, they don't know what to do with the money. building expensive mansions on top of the hills, overlooking the valleys, living as kings, and leaving others to, to struggle, as if to say, each for himself, God for us all. But that ought not to be. As I said, Ghana is a rich country, very rich. This is the University of Ghana. Right here, there's the entrance to the SEC, one of the premier senior high schools in the country. Okay, and on the other side, you see the Blue Mountains, the Koforidua Pintampo Range. You have all these things beneath, and there are others also in the like I said, Ghana is very, very beautiful. We are blessed. The country is so blessed. But management is the problem. Individuals carrying the wealth of the country and going to put them in offshore banks, putting them in Switzerland. Some are in US banks, others are in British banks. They are all there. And then, sadly, when our governments initiate a legal case against them, the money gets confiscated and never finds its way back here. So the money is just siphoned out of our country, and people are left to struggle. My prayer is that will stop, that the resources of the country be used to the benefit of all, that there will be no people walking down the streets insane because they cannot fend for themselves. Okay? I pray that the people there will be empathy, that there will be empathy on the part of the leadership, that they will walk the streets of Ghana just as I'm walking. And as I'm walking, I pass by, mad people who are sitting by the street side, have nothing to eat. And the Lord will stop me to provide meal for them. And they take the food and eat and say thank you. Can you imagine if somebody is really, really bewitched and is out of his mind? He cannot even say thank you, but these people are saying thank you. But that's all. That's where they are stuck in that. If no one comes to lift them up, give them a hand to get them out of it, they've been resigned to a fate that is not what God destined for them. It's just because of the greediness and the wickedness of people who are placed in high position, who ought to use the resources of the country to benefit the poor and the downtrodden. Rather, they use it to serve themselves and their cronies. This is not only akin to Ghana, it's all over the world. The poor are left to fend for themselves. In fact, they are the ones who pay the taxes to sustain those who are higher up. In the end, the higher ups will say they worked hard, forgetting the fact that the people who made them rich are the ones who work. They work and they just earn slave wages. Okay? So my prayer today to Ghanaians and to our leadership, let us wake up to righteousness, wake up to holiness, wake up to the truth, wake up to humanity. Let us put on human flesh. Let us have aching hearts that ache for the poor, the downtrodden, hearts that ache for the madmen in the streets. We don't need to take them to asylum down. No, all they need is somebody to take them and give them a place of comfort and bring them back to a place where they can make money, living wage, and not, a wage that just comes and can only extend to the middle of the week. God bless you. Grace and peace. This is Pastor Pimpong on Rawlings, JJ Rawlings Avenue. God bless. Bye-bye.